Andrew Tate talks a lot about cash flow, speed, and business. So what would he say about Amazon FBA? Not the Shopify, dropshipping, Lamborghini guru-invested Amazon. I'm talking real Amazon brand direct wholesale. In this video, we're breaking down Tate's most viral takes on business, sales, and mindset, and looking at them through the lens of how Amazon wholesale actually works. If you're stuck chasing trendy products or burning out trying to launch your own brand, this might change the way that you see the game. Whether you love him or hate him, Tate's obsession with sales and systems is exactly why some Amazon sellers scale, while others never seem to move the needle. Let's dive into some of Tate's wildest takes and show you why wholesale FBA is the closest thing to a high-performance e-com operation that most people never hear about.
I think sales jobs are probably the best job any person can get. If I had to get a job again, it'd be a sales job. Because you learn a lot as a salesman. You learn, and sales is a really important skill. You learn a skill, and also if you're actually good at it, it's not even really like having a job. They don't fire the top salesman.
Yeah, no, they don't.
No, they do not fire the top salesman. No, you turn up late, you crash your car. Oh, sorry, G, boom, here's my numbers. They're like, oh, all right.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, it's funny though, because you look at Amazon FBA and wholesale, right? The majority of what we do, like we get asked that a lot, and the majority of what we do, the day-to-day operations in the business ourselves, is sales. Like if I was going to consider myself anything, it would be a salesperson within the business. And so like sales are huge because honestly, if you don't have the sales element of it, you don't have anything else. Like we look at, sourcing, and we look at running price lists, and we look at account closure rates and things like that. And you're not going to have any of those things or have the need for any of those things or the need to like develop any systems unless you have the sales, which is pick up the phone and dial the brand, call the brand. Sales is huge. And honestly, it doesn't feel like a job either because you're constantly feeding off of this like adrenaline of like getting the next closed account. If you like sales or if you have experience with sales, I think wholesale or brand direct wholesale is going to come easy to you. It's definitely my favorite part of the job, but yeah, I agree with him. It's like you could do anything, and as long as you're driving revenue, if you're working for someone else, they're basically just not going to fire you, right?
Protein shakes. The way you sell protein shakes is you convince people they need them. This is one of the most basic tenets of business. You have to convince people they need whatever you sell. You don't talk about the product. You talk about their need.
This is huge, right? Like, let's look at this from the perspective of wholesale and FBA. I like to talk about it a lot in the perspective of you're speaking to a brand, and it's like you're speaking a totally different language than they are. Like this stuff that we think is just normal conversation about listing optimization and running ads, like it's just a lot of nonsense to them, right? If there's no way to interpret how it's implemented and what effect it has on their brand. And so I'm thinking like what he's going to go into in this video a little bit more is just the element of rather than, selling the gym membership, sell the six-pack abs, like sell the result of what you will get by doing the thing that he's trying to sell you. And it's the same thing with brand direct wholesale because it's like we are selling the vision of creating a better brand presence and improving the brand on the platform.
What's the old adage that they do? Sell me this pen. Have you ever heard that before? Sell me this pen. People go, oh, well, this pen is blue and this pen is, it's made of plastic and it's durable. No, that's not how you sell a pen. Sell me this pen. You need to be able to write things down. But I've already got a pen. Yeah, but now you can write more things down because you have another pen. How are you going to write down all your ideas? Think of all the things you can write down. You can write the next novel. You can become a J.K. Rowling. You can become a billionaire if you had a pen. You don't have a pen. You need a pen to write things down. Sell the need. Don't sell the product. It's blue and it's plastic. As opposed to you can become...
Tate's delivery with stuff always just cracks me up. Like he's so animated, but it's just, I don't know, it's funny.
I'm J.K. Rowling because you need a pen to write things down. You have to sell the need at all times. Most people don't sell the need. Have you noticed?
That is true. Like most people don't sell the need. Most people are selling in terms of Amazon, right? When they're reaching out to a brand, it's like, let me buy product from you, right? And that's not the approach. The approach is rather than to sell them whatever it is, which is like giving them money basically, is to take the perspective of the need for your services, right? Like we always talk about you are in the power position when you're reaching out to a brand because they need you, because what we're doing and like why we're so convicting in what we do is because it's truly the best thing for the brand. So sell the need, because there definitely is a need.
So with me, I never sell the product. So let's look at my products compared to other dorks who sell stuff online. So you'll see other dorks will go, my 18-page ebook includes blah, 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 blah. Have I ever told you how many pages are in my books, or how many exact modules you're getting? Did you know how many modules you were getting with this university? Did I say this many videos, this? No, because that's selling the product. And you don't care. You signed up anyway. If I would have said 10 videos of this and ebook and PDFs, who cares?
Yeah, a lot of brands don't care, right? Like a lot of brands, as long as they're getting the result and they're understanding like what you're doing conceptually, they don't necessarily care about the intricacies, right? So just to put it in a concrete example, it's like, all right, we're going to sell the idea of either listing optimization, or we're going to sell the vision of the brand having a better, more cohesive presence on the platform. You always want to sell what's over here. You want to sell the cohesive presence. You don't want to sell like, hey, we're going to put 2 infographics on your pictures, right? That means nothing to them. Like they don't care because they don't understand what that is going to do, like what the byproduct of that is. So he's completely correct on this. Like, don't sell the product, sell the reason that they need the product. And it applies perfectly for brand direct wholesale as well.
I sold you the need. You need to know what I know about business. It's the need that sells, not the product. So whatever you're selling, it doesn't matter what it is, sell the need. Even if you're selling fucking raspberries, they need raspberries. Why do I need raspberries? You need raspberries because it's good for your, immune system. Talk some shit. Super berries, whatever. That's what goji berries do. What the fuck is a goji berry? I've never heard of a goji berry. Now
I have absolutely no idea what a goji berry is either. So it's probably some like superfood thing.
I see them everywhere. Superfood.
Yeah, there you go.
Goji berries, the superfood. Superfood, why? I ate goji berries. I feel exactly the same. It's bullshit. But they sell on need. Superfood, you need goji berries all of a fucking sudden. I don't even know what they look like.
I feel like you have to take everything with a grain of salt that he says, right? But the delivery is so like unintentionally funny that it's just like the message I think can kind of get lost in it. Like it's completely true, everything he's saying.
3 keys, I believe, to making money. The word of the day. First one's perspicacity. Most people go through life and they do not pay attention. I've said this before and I want to stick by it because it's so important. You need to pay attention to every single time you spend money, because you cannot make money. You're not the Federal Reserve, you're not a government. Governments make money. All of us take money from somebody else or a business or a government. We take money from other things. So the easiest way to learn how to get good at taking money is to pay attention to every time someone takes money from you. So next time you buy a coffee, don't just buy the coffee and drink it and think nothing of it like every brokey. Don't do that. Say, okay, why am I buying this coffee? Okay, I want a coffee. All right.
I feel like his judgment for like being broke, or like the threshold, is just so small. It's like, oh, you don't think about anything other than getting your coffee when you buy a coffee? Brokey.
Why am I buying here? Well, this is on my way to work. Is there any competition around? Do I also want breakfast? Do they sell breakfast? No, they don't sell breakfast. They could probably make some more money if they're selling breakfast. Anyway, I walk in, there's a long line. Why is there 1 member of staff? I'm low on time. I'm about to leave and not buy the coffee. They're about to lose money because it's taking too long. Most of the people in this line are businessmen. Why is there not a cute girl behind the counter? I bet if they paid a cute girl a little bit more, they'd still make a bunch more money because people who come in here to talk to her. Think. And then what you'll do is, as you go through life, every time you spend money, is you'll realize the problem is not how to make money. The problem is how much time you have, because there's endless business ideas. There's endless.
Yeah, that's so true. Is the time is truly the limiting factor, right? And I kind of want to relate this to like the sourcing process, right? Because paying attention, like getting really, really granular and understanding the quality of the products that you're sourcing and being aware of things, right? Like Brad and I talk about this. There could be one tiny detail, like there could be one drop in a Keepa graph that tells me that that product has been going viral on other social media platforms, which is why I'm contacting the brand, right? Like it could literally be anything, but it's the attention to detail. It's the awareness. When we look at a product listing that we're sourcing, it takes 5 seconds for us to make an analysis of that. And that didn't happen overnight. It's something that you just develop over time because you get really good at looking at these things and understanding what things stick out and make you want to contact the brand. So kind of the same thing, right? Is like attention to detail. Just like he's talking about the coffee shop and paying attention to how things could be improved. We're doing the same exact thing in the sourcing process when we're sourcing for brands. We're looking at what things could be improved and we're being aware of them. And that is what's going to close the account because that's what's going to make you want to reach out to the brand in the first place.
This idea is, I walk into a coffee shop and by the time I've walked out, I already know exactly how to open up next door and outcompete them head to toe. I already have worked out how much is the rent, where are they fucking up, what are they not selling that they should be selling, what are they doing good, what are they doing bad, this chair's too hard, I'll wreck them. And I'll send it, and now my network is so powerful, which is the second point, network, I can send a few messages on WhatsApp and make a bank transfer. And 2 months later, there's a brand new coffee shop next door with my name on it, putting them out of business. So the first thing is you have to pay attention. Because if you pay attention, you'll start to learn that money is everywhere. Every building is owned. These are skyscrapers, bro. Billions. Every apartment nowadays is a million. You drive down a street in London, you're driving past trillions of dollars. There's money everywhere.
This is so true because it's like, if you look on Amazon, you have Helium 10, you have AMZ Scout Pro, like whatever software that you have that tells you sales volume, like it's crazy. You'll be like, if I close this one account exclusively, I'd make another 6 figures profit per year. Like money is absolutely everywhere on Amazon. And so to say like Amazon is oversaturated or it's harder to break into wholesale, I just don't think is true because all you need to do is go on Amazon and look at some of these listings. And we always say one wholesale account could change your life. And it is completely true, right? So yeah, money is absolutely everywhere. It's crazy.
It's all around us. When I was broke, I thought that the world was broke. I thought that there was no money. And then I got rich and realized that I was completely and utterly wrong. There's so much money. It's everywhere. If I go to try and buy a plane or a jet, they're always sold out. My yacht.
Yeah, what a problem to have.
This is a fucking 6-year waiting list. I want a Bugatti. In the world. If you want that beautiful girl, so does everyone else. You have to win the competition. You want that car, you have to get it first. You want that money, everyone wants that money. You have to compete. It's competitive. Business is competitive. You are competing against people like me. You're competing against people like the people in my network. You're competing about people who only talk about money, who understand money very well, who operate in jurisdictions all around the planet, who are extremely well connected, who know things before you know them, who have mass influence and mass power and mass resource. You're competing against me. This is what you must understand. You're not waking up going, I want to make some money. You're competing against people like me.
I kind of want to touch on this from the perspective of you as a smaller seller, right? Even if you're a 7-figure seller already on Amazon, you're competing against some really, really large third-party Amazon companies. And Brad and I have taken accounts from some of these large companies who have signed with us because of the level of service that we've provided to them. And so like, I don't necessarily agree with this from the perspective of Amazon, where it's like you're competing against everyone. I think you are competing against everyone, but at the same time, I think that we can all do things that differentiate ourselves that makes a brand want to go with you, the smaller guy, compared to one of these huge companies. So just because you're smaller, relatively speaking, doesn't necessarily mean that you're at a disadvantage.
You're competing against billionaires, you're competing against hedge funds. How did these hedge funds keep growing? Where are they getting that money from? From the brokies. They're robbing you. They're robbing all the poor people from the pension fund, dummy. That's where they get it from. This is who you're competing against. So the competition is absolutely and utterly fierce. Understanding that you're a man with a small pistol up against a mighty army. If you want to add a little bit of laziness on top, you're fucked.
I agree with that. I think a lot of times the reason people don't succeed in the FBA space is because they try to treat Amazon like a hobby. And I think that's a result of all of the social media out there just telling you that you're going to get rich quick, and automation companies and all of that don't keep it real with how Amazon actually works. And Amazon can make you rich. Like, there is no question about that, but it's going to take a lot longer than you think it's going to take. And you're going to have to work a lot harder initially than you think you might. That's a great thing about wholesale and brand direct wholesale, though, is that it is safe, consistent, and reliable. So once you put in that upfront work, you really just have the ability to create systems in your business and just cash flow it, and it's able to provide you consistent income. That was one of the biggest things with arbitrage, like why we wanted to switch out of it, was because it seemed like every time we found product, we would be so excited that we found the product. And then as soon as we did, we would have to go out and find more product. So wholesale definitely changed that and fixed it.
So when I say people are lazy, they go, I'm not lazy, I work hard every day. You work 8 hours a day? You work eight? The fuck?
I always say working a half day is working 12 hours. I took a half day today. I worked 12 hours.
If I'm awake, I'm working. I'll be driving my Bugatti Chiron through Dubai, working. I'm texting at the same fucking time. I don't take a second off. I don't take a minute off. I don't relax. I don't rest. I don't stop. I don't chill. None. Ever. I'm either asleep or at work. That's it. Second I wake up, I check my phone, I begin working. I go to the gym in between sets, I am working. I'm online working the entire fucking day until the second I go to sleep, I am at work. That is all I do. And you are at home competing against me, and you want to watch a movie tonight and then say you're not lazy. You're fucking lazy, and you're gonna lose forever.
I mean, these are the views that I'm like, that it's so extreme, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, if you want to completely just work, but you know, one of the great things, and trust me, like, I am definitely a proponent of hard work. Like, we work very hard within the business and we enjoy our work as well, right? But an element of it is that you have the ability running a business to buy yourself freedom of time, freedom of money, right? Because you're able to afford things. But, you know, do I think that you're going to fall behind if you don't work every single second of every day when you're at the gym between sets? No, definitely not. But you have to work hard. And like, that's the message that I think I want you to take from this in the perspective of Amazon, is it's going to take more work than you think it's going to take in the beginning. And most Amazon sellers quit after the first 6 months. So if you can stay the course for the first 6 months, you're going to be successful. And you're going to have to work hard, just not every second of every day.
I'll teach you how to make money online. CobraTate.com, you can join the real world. And they'll sit there and go, nah, I'll do it myself. They're arrogant. They have these egos from fuck knows where because they didn't earn it. And they're just too arrogant to listen to anybody. I became world champion by listening to my coach. I didn't become world champion by walking in and saying, I'll do it myself. That's not how you get anywhere in life. You have to listen. If Mike Tyson were to walk in, or if Elon Musk were to walk in here and talk to me about money, I wouldn't be sitting there going, I could do that. I'd be like, oh, Mr. Elon, richest man in the world. Hello, very nice to meet you. Please, even though I already understand I don't want to launch a car brand or put rockets in space, please, you must know some things I don't know.
It's a great perspective. I feel like from Tate, you usually don't hear those types of like humility comments, but that's true. And like, I relate this so much to joining a community or collaborating with other sellers. And Brad and I, we talk about it all the time. That was one of the things at the beginning, like we just didn't do. I don't know why, to be honest. I think we just felt like we couldn't maybe. We didn't really collaborate or communicate with other sellers and surround ourselves with like-minded people. And you could save yourself so much headache and so much time by learning from other people's mistakes. I always talk about like successful people are not the people that have the most wins. It's the people that avoid the most mistakes and get from point A to point B the fastest. And you can do that through learning from other people. You only need to be successful once, but you can make mistake after mistake after mistake until you're successful, if that makes sense.
How do you deal with the currency fluctuations? Does inflation impact how much it costs for you to send a rocket into space? Like, I'd ask him something that's useful, right? But some people are so brutally arrogant that they'll sit here and they'll listen to all the things I said, and they'll agree that I'm intelligent, and they'll agree I'm massively successful, but they'll sit there and go, yeah, but you know what? I'll do it myself. I don't want to join that school because, you know, I'll do it myself. They're arrogant. Everybody's fucking arrogant. I sit with people who I used to go to school with from Luton who are still broke and tell them how to make money. And you know what they do? They answer back. Yeah, but it's not that simple because, the wife gets the kid, and you know what? And I don't like to do things that way. The way I like to work, the way you like to work is why you're fucking broke. So what the fuck are you talking about?
He's just like, the delivery is just unbelievable. It's so like comedic. Like, I don't think he's trying to be funny, but it just cracks me up. I think people always make excuses, right? And that's something that we'll see in the FBA space as well, is like, there will always be a reason that it doesn't work out. And most of the time, the brutally honest thing that I can say is chances are it didn't work out because you didn't make enough cold calls, or, you didn't actually put in the work. But that's good for someone like you who is willing to put in the work, because it means you're going to be successful in the space. And we always are trying to learn from people that know more than us in the space, and constantly consuming information, even if it's not in the Amazon space, even if it's relating to like sales, right? Like, we're always trying to learn more. And I mean, this is a great time to say, like, if you're not part of our community yet, then there's going to be a link below this video to join that community. I would definitely, you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are going to take you to where you want to be faster, right? And that's really the most important thing. And like, being able to avoid the mistakes that you might make. One mistake could cost you thousands of dollars, and to not make that mistake is preferable, right?
You just sat here and wasted 10 minutes of my time. I told you how to take your business of painting and decorating or whatever the fuck you're doing and make a serious amount of money, and now you're telling me the way you like to work? Then stay fucking broke.
Another thing that's so interesting to me, like, I don't know what it's probably related to IQ. Tate does not stutter. If you notice, he does not even think. Like, the processing time is so small. It's just always amazed me whenever I hear him talk.
The fuck you want me to do? What level of arrogance? But this is people. They'll sit with a multimillionaire and tell you their view. Oh, I think that know when you're out qualified. Name a normie job.
Making coffee.
Making coffee. Boom. You're a barista. You're a barista. Now, I'm going to tell you how to get rich as a barista, because I can think that fast off the top of my head. The problem with most people in the world today is not that they do a normal thing, it's that they do a normal thing and they don't try to be the best at it. So you can be a barista and you can just make coffees, or you can be a barista that makes the fancy coffees and can turn over all the cups and do like the tricks and all the garbage. We have a man who became a billionaire from salt.
Yes.
From salt. You can all put salt on, he did it the best. Bam. So the first thing you need to do is get very good at making coffees. That's the first thing you need to do.
I think it's Apple that says that, Apple computers, where they say, we don't want to do it first, we just want to do it the best. And that's something like with wholesale, you're not reinventing the wheel. You are just doing it better than the next person, which is what separates you and differentiates you.
Be able to do it in a fancy way. Then you need to solicit attention. Well, if you can make coffees in a fancy way, you can hire a videographer, you can then begin to make fancy coffees in a fancy way, and you can make it look good with a finalized product, and you can get a nice video made that's well cut with some fancy music. You can begin to put them on Instagram and solicit people to watch your Instagram page. Now you have attention. How do you then turn that attention into money after you began to show your fancy coffees? Well, you could, let's say, put together a course or an academy or write a book on the magic of coffee or the secrets of coffee. And you would put a mystery on it. Don't say, I'll teach you how to make coffee. No, say the secrets of coffee. And you'd have a link in your Instagram page, and it would be $9, and it would tell people the secrets how to make coffee, for example. You'd start to sell that for $9. You'd make a couple hundred or a couple thousand, not too much, but you continue to make fancy coffees. People continue to go to your Instagram page. You're now selling the secrets of how to make coffee. Then, after people start knowing you as being a barista, you start to make these $9. You have $20,000, $30,000 in the bank. What you can do is launch your own coffee brand. You can go on Alibaba.com, you can find some coffee beans, you can put your face on it because your face is now a recognized brand. You can get your own coffee beans, you can begin to sell them on Instagram. Before you know it, you're making $10,000 or $15,000 a month.
He's literally describing private label, right? And he's describing the private label model. The good thing about brand direct, like, private label is great. We love private label, but brand direct, you don't have to do all of this where he's talking about like the marketing and, creating a brand and all that stuff, because the brands that we're selling on Amazon are already brands that consumers know, like, and trust. So you're kind of cutting out all of this work, which is why wholesale is a great middle ground between something like arbitrage, where there's no relationships necessarily, or no deep ones where you have constant reorders, and something like private label, where it's all this effort to create a brand and there's a ton of upfront work, versus brand direct wholesale, we're capitalizing on things that already exist and we're just using our skill set to come in and to improve them. So just making small changes, and like Tate said, like being the best at it. Is the best at anything makes a ton of money, right? So if you can be the best at anything, you're going to make a ton of money, right?
You can start to do tours. You can start to put posters on your Instagram or in your Instagram stories saying, I'm going to do master classes on how to make coffee, 20 people only, $1,000 each at this premium barista specialty coffee shop in London. The coffee shop will allow you to do it for free because they want people to know, get the advertising from you and your brand. You'll charge $1,000 each. That's 20 grand for a day. They teach people how to pour milk in a cup. Boom.
Again, it's like the delivery is just, it's just so funny. He's super passionate about all of this stuff. And I get that, right? Like, this is sales, this is marketing. And that's what you're going to be doing the majority of the time within a brand direct wholesale business. It's totally right. Like, be the best at something and you're going to make a lot of money from it. There was a ton of information in those videos. And I think the main takeaways, at least for me, and applying everything that he was saying to Amazon wholesale, is that sales is the backbone. Sales is really what is going to drive your business forward. Focus on that. Focus on the revenue driving tasks. Nobody fires the top salesperson, right? Not that you're going to fire yourself within your company. I don't know, maybe you might. But sales is what's super important. It's what's going to take you to the next level. Same thing goes for being the best at something. If you really buckle down and focus on being the best, you might not ever get there, right? But if you focus on being the best for whatever you're doing, focus on being the best for Amazon wholesale, you are going to substantially grow your business. Most sellers don't last past 6 months. So take it seriously. Like, don't treat it as a hobby, and it's not going to give you hobby money. It's not going to give you side hustle money. That's the thing about brand direct wholesale. You're building a real sustainable business, which is super exciting for your business and for your future. And lastly, surround yourself with a community. Like, make sure that you don't make tons and tons of mistakes along the way that are avoidable. Brad and I made tons of mistakes that we shouldn't have made if we associated ourselves with a community and with like-minded people, and just had people to talk to about what we're doing on Amazon. Because let's face it, it's kind of a weird thing. We're selling this stuff online. People don't really understand you. And I want to extend the invitation to join our community. There's a link down below. Check it out and surround yourself with like-minded people who can take you to the next level. We'll see you inside. Let's go.